Hello, hello. It's Monday night at 8 o'clock. Maybe it's even 8 in a few seconds. So I am so happy to be here with you tonight, and I really appreciate you being with me. I'm looking forward to a few people joining, and I know that people are always jumping on. I'm just looking over here, are always jumping on after the fact. As a matter of fact, my cat's scratching on the door. She wants to get in. So let's see. If she's a pain in the neck, I'll have to get up and open the door so she can come in. But in the meanwhile, happy Monday. This is a tough subject. It's a tough time of year for one thing, but it's also a very dear friend of mine. Her sister recently passed away, and it is in this realm of mental health. And I wanted to dedicate this to her because, can you hear the cat pounding on the door? Hold on just a second. I am so sorry. I'm going to let the cat know that we're okay. So sorry about that. I didn't want to hear the cat pounding on the door. But it's a tough time of year for a lot of people. And Miriam Nordlinger recently lost her life, and that's to whom this is dedicated. So I just thought, in the field that I'm in and what I'm studying and improving on, let's talk about mental health and nutrition and lifestyle. I think we all deal with it one way or another in some form. It's not just a few, it's many. And there are so many ways that this takes form. So I just want to make sure, hey, Dorothy and Suzanne, I love you both. Thank you so much. So let's get into it. Let's start with what happens when we feel good. What happens when we are happy. And Dorothy, Suzanne, anybody else who's looking on, please put things in the comments. I really want to build this up. This is an important time of year for people to feel supported and that we're listening and we're paying attention to their mental health. So throw some ideas in the chat, and I will throw some ideas out also. Let's see. Well, one of the things Suzanne said, sending love from Boston. So when we feel better, we can be loving, right? When we feel better, we want to help people. When we feel better, we feel productive. When we feel better, we sleep better. When we feel better, we want to take better care of ourselves. When we feel better, well, we're naturally happier. We function differently. And some of the ways that this happens scientifically is that our bodies are releasing dopamine, serotonin, endorphins, and oxytocin. We also have natural opioids in our body that occur from certain foods. Apples are one of them, believe it or not. So what our goal is to increase this chemical reaction naturally and reduce the inflammation. And I'm going to get a little bit into inflammation tonight because I just finished this whole immunity section and inflammation of my nutritional program. And I want to share it with you. One of the best ways to learn is to teach. And I want to help people learn what I'm learning because not everybody's going to have the time or wherewithal to study what I'm studying. I'm going to check comments again. Caring. Thank you, Dorothy. Yes. When we are feeling better, we can be more caring. We can care for more people. So it's really important for us to pay attention to what it feels like when we do feel well, and to pay attention to look for the unsaid when people aren't feeling well. I just recently passed something, I don't know, there was a post on LinkedIn, and some guy, day one, he's got this award, big smile. Day two, he's checked himself into a facility for mental health issues. He wasn't happy, he wasn't doing well. He took the award, you would never have known. And that's the thing. And I know some of my friends here online right now know this too. Sometimes you just don't know where somebody's at and why they're not getting this. And sometimes it's a whole lot deeper, obviously, than lifestyle and nutrition. But lifestyle and nutrition definitely play a piece. So, what are some examples of feeling good? And I was thinking earlier, as this might relate to me, and again, please put things in the comments as what relates to you when you're feeling good. Um, when somebody pays you a compliment, when you get a hug, when I get a hug, I'll say for me, getting a hug, being paid a compliment, doing well at something. Maybe it's a workout that makes me feel good. Perhaps eating healthier, not because I ate healthier, but because I feel well. I'm not feeling weighed down and I'm not feeling like a sugar high issue. Those things, those make me feel good. Other times I feel good when the sun is shining and I look outside and I can go outside when I go into my outdoor shower. That makes me feel good. Taking a bicycle ride, a walk. Please put things in the comments. I really want to know what makes you feel good. What are examples of you feeling good? Because it's really important. When people look at these videos after the fact, not many people show up on the night of or comment on the night of. I have my few regulars that I can count on. I appreciate you so much. But when people do look at this, they're going to want to know that we're relating to them, that there's a place here for them, that they're getting something good out of this. So the more you contribute, the better it is for others. And hopefully you're feeling good tonight, so you'll do that with me. And what prevents us or impedes us from feeling good? We're going to talk about food things, certainly certain foods, especially when we have food sensitivities. We're going to talk about that. But, perhaps it's even self-talk. Now, a lot of people hey, I think we all have some form of mental illness. We all do, whether it's just a little bit or a lot, we all have a little of it. We're all guilty of 80% of everybody's thoughts going through their heads every single day are negative. And it's so critical to build up the positive. And when somebody's already not feeling well, then those negative thoughts feel stronger and negative behaviors influence that. And then it's just a vicious cycle, which is why I want to focus on the lifestyle and the nutrition to help build up from the bottom, from the soil, from the terrain, help build a healthy environment within our bodies. And we're going to talk about sleep. We're going to talk about some things that help us feel good. So some things that don't help us, and I said the word sleep, not getting enough sleep, not getting enough nutrition, the negative thoughts and listening to them and not having enough positive influence or positive from our insides. There's so many things, and I just hope that you're writing ideas in the chat right now so that just feel free. When people listen to it, they'll look, they'll connect, and it's really valuable for them. And so let's talk about what nutrition has to do with feeling good. Well, it all starts in the gut. It is amazing, but whatever problem somebody's having, I don't care what it is, it all has to go, it starts at the gut. This is the internal place because you have your gut-brain connection, that your vagus nerve that connects your gut and your brain scientifically. So when your gut and your microbiome are out of what's the word I'm looking for? Out of balance, then there are negative messages going through your central nervous system up into your brain and affecting your brain. And when you are having negative thoughts, sometimes you're really upset about something and you feel sick to your stomach. That is because the negative thoughts are going, and the messaging, the nervous system is messaging and going into your gut. These two things are communicating all day long. So it's really important. The nutrition, start with that. the healthy thoughts, the lifestyle. And these do, we can't cure everything with these, but we can certainly help. I'm not a doctor. I don't claim to be a doctor, but I do claim to be very sensitive to nutrition and lifestyle, and to know, and even in my own life, and some who have read my story, that I've healed greatly from nutrition and lifestyle for different traumas, different ailments. I've talked about it in public. So this is not just me, and it's not just you, and we're all unique. So we're not all going to react the same to the same prescription of nutrition and lifestyle. But these are some ideas to help each individual think about what's going to work better for them. And if in fact somebody does watch this and they want more attention on themselves, I actually have an intake form now that goes through a whole slew of information to help understand what are some of the identifying components that we can find for lifestyle and nutrition for an individual. And then it's a process. And anybody who's watching this, it doesn't always happen overnight. It is a process, this healing process. And not everything gets 100% healed, but mostly everything can be managed better. A lot of things can be managed better. And I just want to talk about sugar for a minute, because I am guilty of having been a sugar addict. And it's not that I totally stay away from refined sugar anymore, but I don't do a lot of refined sugar anymore at all. One of the things that I recently learned about sugar, and maybe you already know this, but I thought it was just an interesting way to think about it. When you eat something nutritious, those nutrients work for you. They're working for your body. They're going into your cells. They're going through your digestive system. They're getting into your blood. They're helping you be healthier, right? Sugar, alcohol. Let me think what else. I'll just start with sugar, but alcohol is one of them too. So beware. In everything in moderation, right? But sugar, when you eat refined sugar, not only does your body not need it, because it produces enough sugar from the other carbohydrates of natural foods. So you don't need refined sugar at all, ever. But more than that, refined sugar is one of those things where it takes more nutrients from in your body to get rid of the sugar than it does provide nutrients to your body. So in essence, you're burning up nutrients to consume this sugar, refined sugar. I want to be very clear, refined sugar. You're burning up nutrients to get rid of refined sugar. And that alone, wow, that just spoke to me. It's like, oh my God, I worked so hard on lifestyle and nutrition. And I do love sugar. Like, give me the caramel, give me the jelly beans, give me, not always, but seriously, give me the high, some people can't even handle the level of refined sugar that I can consume. They don't even like it. They don't even want to eat it. And what's really funny, after having done Whole30 twice, I think it was just after the first time, I could never go back to ketchup again, ever. The amount of sugar in ketchup and the flavor of it after not having sugar for 30 days, no way. I haven't touched ketchup for like 2 years, unless it was hidden in some food that I ate. So that was funny for me. But I can certainly do real sugar, anything. I do manage it. I have to manage it. I can't keep it in the house. So hopefully that was a little insight for you on sugar. And I want to really get into this, because this is where this really makes the mental health worse. The most common food sensitivities that create inflammation, here they are: corn, dairy, eggs, which I spelt it wrong, soy, gluten, yeast, and shellfish. So those are the most common Now, I want to read to you a list of food sensitivity symptoms, and I didn't memorize them, so I'm just going to take my notes here. Okay, ready? Gas and bloating, incontinence, distended belly, congestion, migraines, lack of focus, low energy, mood swings, joint pain, weight loss resistance, skin problems, asthma, autoimmunity. Those and more, obviously, but those are some of the not those. There are hidden food sensitivities, which are almost dangerous because you don't even know they're happening. But these are the ones that you know are happening. These are symptoms. And so with these symptoms, and we don't know what's causing them, and I want to go back to this food list for one moment, that it's really important if you're having some of those symptoms and they're inexplainable, like you weren't around a nauseous fume or something else didn't happen, or food poisoning, I don't know. But if these are happening, more regularly and you can't explain them, highly recommend just, a lot of times I've heard that it's the food that you crave is the one that you're most sensitive to. And the reason why you're craving it is because it produces histamine, antihistamine in your body. Your body's craving that, and then your immune cells grab it with the histamines. Histamines to blow it up. So it affects the whole, maybe I'm not saying it right, but your body produces histamines to blow it up and create inflammation. And when that inflammation goes down, then you start craving that food again because there's an environment in your body that it's used to having. Does this make sense a little bit? I probably have to reread my notes. I did say at the beginning, I'm still a student, but I love sharing this information. Well, anyway, when you're craving certain foods, a lot of times those are the foods that you're most sensitive to. And that's the one that you should try to eliminate. And just do a process of elimination, like give it 2 to 4 weeks, one food. Give yourself time. It would take somebody a while to have these symptoms, mood swings or anything else. See if one food doesn't do that to you and try removing it. I have found that dairy is something that's not great for me, and I don't even eat that much cheese anymore. I can eat it, but I don't eat that much anymore because it affects my digestive system. Other people have other symptoms. We're all unique. We have different symptoms. We have different bodies. So pay attention to your food sensitivity symptoms. Try eliminating something that's a highly inflammatory, highly sensitive food and see if that doesn't help you. And I want to share that inflammation can affect your brain tissue. And this is really serious. And this is why I'm talking about the food things and eliminating certain foods. And this is why I'm talking about mental health, because when the inflammation gets moving, and especially when it becomes chronic, and again, your vagus nerve is talking all the time to your brain and things are unhealthy. And then you've got all your fluids moving through your body. Things are happening. Your immune system is working, and especially when it's chronic, nonstop. And that can send inflammation into your brain tissue. It can affect your memory. It can be cause for Alzheimer's, depression. And sometimes it's the food. Sugar's definitely the worst. It wasn't even on my list because I had already hit it as an individual, but refined sugar is definitely the worst. These other ones are secondary. And it's really important too that when you are eliminating foods, find substitutes. There are substitutes for everything. And it doesn't mean poisonous ones, right? It doesn't mean artificial sweeteners, but there are natural low glycemic sweeteners that can help us with, sugar. Like when I make these muffins, I put maple syrup in them. I use, what's that other thing I use? Well, it doesn't matter. It's, low glycemic sweeteners instead of refined sugar. something that won't make my blood spike. That's probably my worst sensitivity. And then dairy, but everybody's different. And we don't want to affect our brain tissue negatively. And I will tell you one other thing about this whole sugar thing and the whole diabetes thing, that a lot of these brain issues from that we get aging, they're caused from insulin response changes. And I'm not going to get way into that today. I will be getting into that eventually soon enough. When I get deeper into the endocrine system, I know a little bit, but I'll know a lot more soon. So again, we're talking about lifestyle and nutrition and how it affects mental health. And inflammation from food sensitivities affects brain tissue. So what we want to do is keep an eye out for food sensitivities, keep an eye out for inflammation so we can protect our brain. And hopefully that will help with any mental situation and make it a little bit easier or not so bad. It also affects, inflammation affects our immune system. The inflammation is a reaction within our immune system and gets things going crazy. And when it becomes chronic, then our immune system becomes imbalanced. So now we're more prone to illnesses, infections, viruses. Viruses and infections can affect mental health. So you see how it all starts in the gut. It all starts with the food and lifestyle. And I'm going to talk about a couple of lifestyle things, but chronic inflammation leads to autoimmune diseases. And there are many of them. I could list them off. I have, I think I saved the page for that. Let me see. No, I didn't on purpose. But you know, if you have an autoimmune disease, then you do want to reduce inflammation. It doesn't mean it will be cured, but it can be better managed. And again, it's going to affect the brain, it's going to affect the mind, the mood, because all this information is continuing through the central nervous system, that vagus nerve, the central. So we want to protect that. And that will all affect our mind. I hope this is helpful and not too confusing. I hope, and maybe if, drop me a note, I'm going to check comments here for a minute. Thank you, Dorothy, for a couple of things here, to things that help us feel good. And, but drop me a note if this is making sense. If you feel like there's an area that I need to get more information back to you on, I'm not going to look it up tonight, but I will get back to you on it. So now I want to talk about this, the daily poop, nutrition, sleep, and exercise. These lifestyle, and, you know, and then I would also say social, you know, your social, you know, things, your social activities are really important. You know, we're not all social beings. Some of us aren't. But it's important to be connected with others in some way, whether it's by phone or meeting for coffee or an occasional once a week friend time or something, some way to be with people. If there's somebody not in your life right now, children, parents, relatives, obviously pets, furry friends are always helpful too, but be sure to have that social element too. And what all of these do, all of these reduce the stress. And if they're not reducing stress, then they're helping stress from elevating. And we don't want elevated stress. We don't want elevated levels of cortisol, because those are other triggers to lead us to mental illness. So in order to, stay healthiest mentally, our exercise is important. Our sleep is critical. Nutrition and that daily poop. So these are things that we just have to work on to stay healthy. And when we're talking about nutritional foods, I want to focus on, these are foods and supplements. Now, not everybody likes to take supplements. I do, because I don't want to always be concerned about which foods I'm eating. So I try to eat healthy, but I don't always want to be so concerned about which foods they are. So I want to focus on probiotics. I do supplements for those because I don't eat dairy, so I'm not going to do yogurt. And I know that the fermented foods are great for probiotics. So if that's something that you like, that's great. That's not something that I like. Healthy fats, protein, antioxidants, all your colorful foods, those are really critical because, well, that just helps reduce all of the free radicals in your body. And we can talk about that another day. But the antioxidants are critical. We don't want free radicals because those can lead to cancer cells. Um, so anyway, and then vitamins and minerals, do your best to get your variety of foods in. And whey protein is actually a really good thing to have in your diet. It actually is very good for your antioxidant health also. So focus on those foods. And I'm just going to end with everything is connected. We are all unique and everything matters. And this is what my nutrition program, the doctor that I'm learning from, she says this all the time, and it's true. So even though somebody might have one symptom or one issue or anything, it is all connected. It's our environment, it's genetic, it's our nutrition, it's our lifestyle, it's our immune system. It's all of this together. And we're all unique. So one fix isn't going to work for everybody. And everything matters. So to think that, well, I can do this because it doesn't matter and it's not going to help, that's not true. Because everything matters. So every little bit that you can manage to fit into your life that's working toward a healthier lifestyle and better nutrition is going to help your entire health and your mental health. So I thank you for joining me tonight. I'm Shoshana Rychek, functional nutrition and lifestyle counselor. Happy to help anybody that has any issues that they really want to work on. I do specialize in weight loss and maintaining weight loss because that's part of my journey. But I've learned so much more about how I can help people with other symptoms and other autoimmune diseases, that if you are looking for that kind of help, just ask me and I'll, be glad to see what I can do for you. So thank you again for joining. To my friends, Suzanne and Dorothy, especially tonight, who were so helpful in showing up in the comments and being here to support me. So, and if you're watching this another day, another time, feel free to drop a message in the comments. I always answer comments. Have a great week, everybody, and see who you can help that might be having some mental health issues. See what you can do, any little thing to be aware for them and with them.